Howdy everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Country Boy, and today is a super special episode because we're going to be unboxing two figures. That's right, they're going to be the exact same character, but made by two different companies. What character? I mean, I think I kind of buried the lead right here with the Last Ronin. And who is the Last Ronin, you might be wondering, or not wondering, because I'm pretty sure everybody by now knows who the Last Ronin is, if you're a TMNT fan at all. The Last Ronin is the last surviving Ninja Turtle in a dystopian future, so they're no longer teenagers, and he has to fight to survive and take down the man, whoever took down his brothers and everybody else that he loves. But yeah, it's a fantastic read. I really love this comic book, or graphic novel, I should say, because I got the hard copy. But I guess without further ado, what figures are we going to be opening? First off, we're going to be doing this one right here by Playmates. Now, they're the OG Ninja Turtles creators, for toys, I should say. Not creators, because Eastman and Laird are the creators of the Ninja Turtles. The toys were originally from Playmates, though, back in the 80s and 90s. And this is from them as well. So I'm going to see how this fares with other Playmate toys and with how it fares with the other figure we're going to do today, which is the NECA figure. I mean, of course, NECA had to do it. NECA's doing everything Ninja Turtles nowadays. They're doing an amazing job, from their Universal to their cartoon Ninja Turtles to their 1990 and 1991 movie Ninja Turtles. They're just killing it. They're doing an awesome job. So I guess there's nothing left to do but to look at the packaging right now. And so here we have the packaging for the Playmates version of The Last Ronin. Yeah, you got a little bit of the art from the comic book right there. Same with the writing down there. Ages 14 plus, because it is a mature story, absolutely. I will say that. It's not like your kiddie Ninja Turtles back in the 80s and 90s, the cartoon that I loved. This is a mature story. But yeah, as you can see, there's the figure right there. A bunch of his accessories on the inside as well. What's on this side here? Just more art, I guess, from the comic book. From inside the comic book. And then on the back there, a bit of a write-up. In a destroyed, battle-ravaged New York City. You can go ahead and pause right there and read it yourself if you want to. I can bring it a little closer if you'd like. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But then at the bottom there, it says a bunch of stuff. Playmates.com, TMNT Toys. Where else you can find information on this? Not really anything on this side here except for The Last Ronin. Then I'll show you the top. It says The Last Ronin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And on the bottom, I guess there's some credits for you there if you want to read all that for yourself as well. So that'll do it for the Playmates version. Next, I will show you the NECA version. Stay tuned. And so here we have The Last Ronin once again, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You got some more art from the comic book on the front as well, looking really, really cool. This is NECA buried down there in the Nickelodeon Last Ronin. This is the armored version. If you didn't know, there were two versions of this, armored and unarmored. This would be the armored version. And then there's some more art from the comic book as well. You got the Ninja Turtle right there, or the Last Ronin, I should say. And on the back, there are images of the figure itself, with a bit of a write-up as well, just like the Playmates one has. Who is the Last Ronin? In the future, battle-ravaged New York City, lone surviving turtle, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead, read it, and pause if you want to. But yeah, that's the back there. Here's the side. This is basically the image that you get on the comic book right here. That's more, obviously, art. And then the top, we'll show you there. Also, ages 14 and up. Okay, so they're both very mature, these two figures. And then the bottom, there's some credits for you there. The guy's responsible for making this figure. And then I'll open it up, because that's what NECA does. They like these boxes. And there's the figure, an image of the figure, I should say right now. And then the actual figure itself with a red border and a red background. I think that looks pretty spiffy. Pretty cool. And then all of his accessories as well, too. As if you didn't know he was going to come with all that stuff. So I guess there's nothing left to do but to get into it and open the packaging. Starting with the Playmates one. And here he is, The Last Ronin, the Playmates edition. He comes with a bunch of accessories, which he should absolutely come with, because in the comic book, he definitely has a lot of different weapons and stuff on his utility belt and his backpack and whatnot. So he definitely should have all these all of these accessories, I should say. But we'll start with these here. There are 2 sets of different throwing stars. This is one set right here. It's got like almost like a cross look to it. There's 2 of these ones. And then there's also 2 of these other throwing stars that are kind of a spirally kind of look to them. Then he also comes with 2 nunchucks. One's already in his hand when you take them out of the packaging, and the other one is just loose. So this is what they look like. They're kind of malleable a little bit. I wouldn't bend them too far because they're meant to just look like nunchucks. They're not really going to act like nunchucks. They're not going to be flinging around real easy or anything like that. And then you got the bow staff. This would be Donatello's bow staff. That's got the brown on the outside and silver handle on the inside. Looking like a bow staff does. You know, pretty simple piece of wood. And then you got 2 sides as well. He's got one side in his hand, and he's got one side right here. Got the, silverish look to it with the, I don't know, is that like leathery sort of handling? The handle. It's got like a leathery type handle, I should say. A bit of a curve to it, but it's not too bad. It's pretty easy to bend, I think, into place. It's not a big deal. And then you got 2 swords. One that's intact. Got the blue handle here with the gold and the silver looking. Well, it's got a bit of a bend to it, as you can see, but it's very bendy. So I think I'll be able to bend that no problem. Get it kind of into the position that I need to be. But the other sword, as you can see, oh, it's broken? What? This is bull. What kind of crap are you giving me, Playmates? Nope, that's actually part of the story. He's got a broken sword in his carry-on that he keeps with him. So that's pretty cool. They added that, the broken sword. But I guess that's enough for the accessories. Let's look at the figure itself. So here he is, the Last Ronin. He definitely has more of a Playmates look to him with that snarl that they always have with those teeth, those gnashing teeth. I love the color, like the black with the bits of green and the brown. Everything works really well together. It definitely evokes the Last Ronin look, but mixes it with the Playmates style completely. And then, as you can see here, these are the goggles. He has goggles that he sometimes wears in the comics books, but it's all part of his outfit, so you can't really take it off. And also, his head barely moves because his hood kind of gets in the way. And the hood, I don't know if it comes off. If it does, it doesn't come off very easily. I'm not going to really play around with that. I'm going to leave the hood on because that's the way I want him to look anyways. So, and then he's got kind of cool like metal bracers for his arms. Looks pretty sweet. And yeah, he's got, I'll show you some articulation. His arms go up quite well. Like he's got a really good like T-pose or Y-pose, you could say. And then he's got double jointed elbows. Double jointed? I think it's double jointed. Anyways, it goes down pretty good. More than any other Playmates figure that I've ever had. I've only got the old style anyways, but it goes down pretty good. And then his legs, I'll show you his knees go back about that far because it kind of contacts the coat that he's wearing. And then his foot goes back that far. It doesn't go very far, actually. The feet are very limited to what they can do here. But that's no big deal. He's probably just going to be standing pretty prone in my display anyways. But looking at the detail, I'm really liking the way it looks. Oh, and you know what? I totally forgot to show you this. It comes with this grappling hook on the side here with the rope. Obviously, it doesn't like come apart and it's not actually usable, but I think you can take it off. Yeah, you can take it off. If you don't want to have that there, maybe you want to put something else there, you can go right ahead. But I kind of like having the grappling hook there. It really adds to the character. And he's also got like the sheath for his sword. And it looks like a spot for the bow staff as well too. So that's pretty cool. He's got all those spots for his weapons. And then I think you can maybe slot maybe one side in there. And then he'd be holding the other one, I suppose. But yeah, he looks really awesome. I'm really liking the way this looks. It's definitely more of a toy style, which I've heard from other people online saying that they love the idea that it's more of a toy style figure. It's not so realistic. It's not as accurate as the NECA one might be. But if you want a toy, then this is totally what you should go for. And so right away, I will put some of the stuff on my guy, and you can take a look at that next. And then we'll get into the NECA figure. So just stay tuned. I'll show you how this stuff all fits on him. And so here he is, the Playmates Last Ronin, all armored up. He's got all of his weapons that he can carry at once. I got the sai and the side here. Got the sai in the back there. I got the bow staff in there. I got the sword, the sword that isn't broken, obviously, in here. And then he's holding both nunchucks that he has. There wasn't really any place to put the nunchucks, so I kind of had to put him in his hand. I couldn't put the throwing stars anywheres, but that's okay. They're, you know what they look like. They're throwing stars like that and like that. And then, yeah, like I said, I couldn't put the broken sword anywheres, but that's fine. That's not necessary. But that's what he looks like, all armored up, looking pretty badass. Like he's going to take on the Foot Clan and take out whoever he needs to take out to get revenge on his brother's deaths. So I guess there's nothing left to do but to get to the next figure, and that would be the Last Ronin from NECA. And here we have the Last Ronin by NECA. Looking really cool. Oh man, I'm really loving the look of this guy. And he's got a ton of accessories. If you hadn't already noticed, man, he comes with a lot of stuff. And pretty accurate to the comics from what I remember too. Because I remember in the comics, I don't think he had doubles of every weapon, just like the Playmates one does. But we'll start with right here. We'll go with Nunchuck. Nunchucking pretty good. He's got the actual chain. As you can see, he's got the wood looking handles, looking pretty damn sweet. Then he's got the one side, got the leathery looking handle, and then the silver looking pointy part, I should say. I don't know. It looks pretty straight too. There's not much of a curve to it, which is nice. It doesn't have a bend, hasn't been warped yet. And then I'll go with at the back here, we got the big bow staff. So it is a bigger figure, so he's going to have a bigger staff. But look how tall this is. Like, it's almost as big as he is. It's a pretty big staff. And yeah, it looks wood. It looks like it's got good wrapping. It looks like a bow staff should. And then we'll go with this sheath here for the sword. So it's pretty simple. Just got like a brownish gray look to it. And then the sword right here would go inside it, like so. Da-da-da-da. And the sword itself has lots of detail too. Like, look at that. Got like the diamond wrap going on there. And then it's got the gold trim and silvery looking metal. But this one also has a bit of a curve to it. It's got a bit of a bend. It's not as bad as the Playmates one was, but a little bit of a bend there. Not a big deal. I'm sure I can fix that. And then he also comes with this big tonfa, right? That's what this is called, tonfa. Looks heavy and durable, and like it's gonna beat some guys' faces in. Like this would definitely do some damage. It's got like a dark grayish wash to it, so it's, I don't know if it's supposed to be metal or if it's supposed to be wood. I think it's supposed to be wood, but it's got definitely a dark wash to it, and it looks really cool. He's also got this grappling hook, which I believe is a little more accurate to the comic book as well, with the actual rope too. If you want to actually pose it with some grappling, you can go ahead and do that. And then he comes with 4 of these bad boys, these throwing stars. I'm not going to show you all of them because they're identical. This is what they look like. And then he comes with this grenade, I believe it was. He throws a grenade at one point and a big explosion happens in the comic book. And he comes with goggles that you can actually put and take off if you want. Put on and take off, I should say. And they look like they do in the comic book. They got that bit of a red eye in the center. What do you call it? Whatever. In the middle of the lens is red, and that's what it looks like. And it's got a elastic back, so it should stretch over his head pretty nicely. And then he also comes with this extra bandana, because right now, oh, it's just the back of the bandana, I should say. Because right now, with the hood on, he doesn't have this on right now, because the hood actually kind of slots into the back of his head, so that you can kind of have it in place if you need to. And then if you don't want the hood, you can take the hood off, and you can put this piece of bandana on there as well. But last and not least, I guess it's not last because there's still the hands to go to. There's his face. There's a secondary face. He got like a yelling face. It looks like he does in the comic books. He's definitely an older looking Ninja Turtle, not a teenage anymore. He's even got like the liver spots, or it's probably like reptile spots, I should say. They're not really liver spots. And the wrinkles in the forehead, and obviously he's aged. He's not a teenager anymore. But I'll show you some hands as well too, because he comes with 4 extra hands on top of the ones that he already has on him. These are kind of like reaching hands, or reaching out to grab something sort of hands. Pretty good detail. And then these ones here are the hands where he wants to be holding a weapon. So I'll probably have these ones on him, most likely, holding some weapons. That's what these ones are for. And then, I guess, the figure itself. Right here. This bad boy. Look at that detail. Look at that mug of his. He is pissed off. He wants revenge on his brothers, which all turtles should do. Look at that. That's really cool. I really like the way that the hood, it looks like it's almost like actual fabric. It's got like the slope down to it. And then like the brown on the shoulder pads with a kind of a light wash going on. And then, you know, it's got like a bluish, grayish. Yeah, I'm not sure what color the rest of the outfit is, but that's kind of what it looks like, bluish, grayish. Does that make sense? And then the elbows, oh, they're stiff. Oh boy, that's not going up very easily. But, sorry, that's the shoulder that's not going up very easily. That's stiff as heck. Stiff as all heck. Okay, I might have to do something about that. I might have to run under some hot water or something. But here's the elbows. I believe it's got double jointed elbows. I can't quite tell because it has the elbow pad, but it does bend quite well, the elbow. And then his wrist can go all the way around. It's got some articulation as well, but it is also hindered by this gauntlet here, this wrist guard. And you can see the belt. Look at this belt. That's pretty cool, hey? You can slot a whole bunch of different weapons on there. And, oh, the back, too. Like, even the back here. Like, there's this ring. You can put the sword in there, or you can put, like, the bow staff in there. You can put all sorts of weapons on this guy. Got the elbow armor. And, oh, yeah, I guess he has sort of a waist rotation too. So something that was kind of hidden, you didn't really notice right off the bat. But he's got this waist rotation, which will be nice. And not much of a crunch, but a bit of one. He is a turtle, so the shell, because you can't really see the shell, but would be a hindrance to an actual turtle anyways. But here's the knees. They go back quite well. That's double jointed knees, you can see with the 2 pins. And actually they work quite well. Yeah, they're much better than the shoulders up there. And then the feet go back about that far because there's a bit of a hindrance there with the armor. And then forward, they go that far. So, again, a bit of a hindrance, but that's what you're going to get with this figure anyways. And then look at the detail even on the toes, like the toenails. Man, he's got like line work too, so he looks like the comic book, like a little bit of line work there, line work there. Like, he looks so cool. This is just an awesome looking figure. And I guess I could show you him without the hood. So that's the hood. It just comes off the back, pretty simple. And then if you wanted to slot it in, there's like a little peg hole where you can put the hood in, or you can even put this rest of the bandana in if you want to, which I can show you here. If I can show you here. If I can show you here. Get in there. If I can show you here. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's something I'm going to have to work on too, because I don't know why it's not going in there. It should fit in there. Maybe it's just the rubber is a little too soft or something. I'm not too sure. That's no big deal. But I guess what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put as much of the weapons on him as I can and let you know what he looks like there. Stay tuned. And here is the Last Ronin, all geared up and ready to fight. Right now, I got him set up with the grappling hook in his hand. I couldn't find a good place to really put it. I could have wrapped it around him somewhere, I'm sure. But I thought, you know what, let's just have it in his hand. And that way, all the weapons, I can show where they go on his body. So right now, on the front, I got a sai kind of in the front there. And then on the back, there's spots on that hoop thing, so I could slot the sheath for the sword. So I got the sword there, and then there's also a spot for the bow, and the bow just kind of sticks in there. Sticks way the hell out there, but that's the best you can do, really. And then I got the tonfa kind of sticking in the middle here. And then on the side here, there was just one spot for the nunchuck, so it kind of dangles, I guess. But if you're just posing him, I don't think it really matters. So it's just going to dangle no matter where you put it. Unless you put it in his hands, then that's where they can be otherwise. But, hey, bonus, I was able to get the bandana put together. Look at that. I was able to get it in there finally. I don't know why I was having so much trouble. It really wasn't that hard. Once I put it in there, I was like, oh, man, couldn't do this on camera, really? Anyways, that is the NECA figure for The Last Ronin. Next up, I'll do a bit of comparing with the Playmates version, as well as some other characters that I have that are made from similar toy lines. Stay tuned. So before I go any further, actually, I figured I'd throw in this one. This is the unarmored version of the Last Ronin by NECA. So I have the armored version, which I opened, and I'm not going to be opening this one because this isn't technically mine. This is someone else's that I'm holding on to for now. So I'll just show you the box. I'll show you what it looks like, and that's about it. I'm not going to open her up. So this is the front. It looks really cool. It's got some art from the comic book. On the side has some more art. Looks pretty cool. It's got, looks like one of the Ninja Turtles and two more hands of other Ninja Turtles on the sides. And then it's got the figure itself, what it looks like. So it doesn't have like his armor that's on the top of his body there. He doesn't have the shoulder pads and the trench coat or whatever you want to call it. And then on the side, that's the same as the other one, I believe. This is number 2. The other one said number 1. And then I'll show you the top. The same basically as before, and the bottom. I think that's the same as before. But I will do this. I'll show you the window packaging. So there he is, unarmored. And there he is there. So he comes with a few different accessories. He comes with Splinter's book right there. And he comes with, I think those are kunai, like throwing knives right there. Can't 100% tell, but I believe that's what those are. Instead of throwing stars, you can see he's throwing knives. And he has also got this, the rat robot. What the heck are they called? I'm trying to think of it. Well, this is the futuristic version of the rat traps. That's what they're called, rat traps. So that's what that guy comes with, and that's how he looks. So if you want to do like a quick look comparison to what he looks like to this guy, there he is. So a lot of it is the same. A lot of it has changed. But yeah, so that's this guy. And here for a little bit of comparing, we got the Playmates one on the left and the NECA one on the right. Obviously, this guy is much, much smaller, and this guy is much, much bigger. And this one has less detail. This one has tons of detail. He's more based on the comic book, where this is more of a toyetic, playable type toy. Figure, I should say. And he fits in pretty well with the old school Playmates ones that came out in the 80s and 90s. Whereas this guy is definitely going for a comic book look, the comic book accurate look. So a bit of more comparing that I'll do. I'll throw in Leonardo here from the old school Playmates. I got a soft head Leo here. So he's obviously, he was a little bit smaller than this guy still, and definitely has less articulation because he's the old school OG. But I mean, you could also say that this is a teenager and this is an adult. So they're growing up. He's a bit bigger. But yeah, that's how they kind of look. That's obviously what they were going for here. They were trying to match the look that they used to have back in the day. For another comparison, I'll do some NECA comparing here. First off, we'll do a Donatello from the cartoon, a cartoon version, NECA's cartoon version, Donatello. What am I saying? My goodness, I can't speak here. But you can tell he's totally different than this look here. He's more gritty, darker, smaller head. This guy's got the cartoon look, just obviously nailed it. They got the bright green, the bright colors. And yeah, so I wouldn't really say that these guys are very similar. He's definitely more cartoony versus the comic book. Then I'll also toss in, as another comparison, the 1990 movie Raphael, because he's got similar tones going, at least. He's got more of a closer connection to this one, I would say. Is grittier, darker, definitely still has the bigger head than this fellow does. But yeah, I guess they would match a bit better if you wanted to put them in a display together. Then I think they would work a lot better together. But still different in their own ways, but similar height, at least. But one more comparison I will do is one I did a recent unboxing of, and that would be the Michelangelo as the Mummy. And he is, actually, you know, I would say probably this is probably the closest depiction, I would say, to this one as well. I'd say the coloring is very similar, very, very muted, very dark. And they look really well together, I'd say. The head maybe isn't quite as big as the 1990 movie, so it would match a bit better with the smaller head that they have here. And yeah, he looks pretty cool with this guy. I'm liking the way that a lot of these guys look. They have their own aesthetics, they have their own nuances, what makes them good, what makes them not so good. I wouldn't say any of them have anything that makes them that's not so good, other than maybe his shoulders being so stiff. But I guess for this video, that's going to do it for my NECA unboxing of Playmates and... Oh, NECA unboxing. Playmates and NECA of The Last Ronin. I can't even speak here. But if you like this, go ahead and check out my other videos. I am countryboy9 with an underscore in there somewheres. Go ahead and like, subscribe, leave me some comments. What else would you like to see? And if you like my sound of my voice, go ahead and check out some other videos that I'm in with my friends called Wasted Opinions. We are on YouTube. We just talk about random stuff. Go ahead and check us out there. But for now, that's going to do it for the Last Ronin and me. And if you liked what you've seen here, go ahead and check out more of my stuff. Until then, stay green.